We are Enactus Fleming College, located in Peterborough, Ontario. We're a hub of leadership, innovation, and sustainability. We were the first post-secondary institution across Canada to ban the sale of plastic water bottles on campus. We have made important steps to continue our goal to increase sustainable practices in everything we do. In 2018, Enactus Fleming learned that the Peterborough landfill would be full as early as 2025. We saw this was a problem, so we conducted a needs assessment, which identified that there were both financial and environmental costs to how we were disposing our waste. Financially, we learned that Fleming College incurred a cost to recycle the paper, and environmentally, 40% of that same paper ended up in our landfill due to contamination. Our team took responsibility and wanted to create a change. We wanted to lead by example, addressing this issue with a solution that would be sustainable in the long term. For the past 2 years, our team has explored a number of different business options, and this has led us to our very first product, the paper planter. We diverted paper that would have ended up in the landfill, and we have created a sustainable business. This diverted paper is reducing the financial and environmental costs at Fleming and making an impact in our community. The paper planter is a compostable planter made with diverted paper collected on our campus. It's a replacement for the styrofoam and plastic flower pots, but more importantly, it's a tool used to empower children by teaching them about the value of sustainability through education about how to grow their food and do gardening practices. Over the last 10 months, we created more than 500 prototypes using different ingredients, ratios, and production methods. We subject them to various testing methods to assess their viability, and in January 2020, we finalized our acceptance criteria and began production. The planters are packaged in a kit that is completely compostable, 25 planters along with soil, vegetable seeds, instructions, and a lesson plan. We partner with teachers to create professional lesson plans that relate to the Ontario Elementary School curriculum. They provide indoor and outdoor learning opportunities for not only students, but daycares, retirement homes, and community programming.
My colleagues and I were very fortunate to be involved with the Paper Planner project right from its initial stages. We've been able to bring this into our classrooms in the school, and all of my colleagues and students in our school have been so excited about this. It's been a huge beneficial project at our school. Personally, I have a grade 4-5 class of 26 students, and we've been able to try this across a number of different subjects, and I look forward to where it's going to go in the future.
Our business is built in sustainability, and we do it by addressing the triple bottom line. We use a volunteer-based model that operates a cost-effective and sustainable supply chain on our own campus. We currently have a team of 15 students that can produce 8 kits per week. Furthermore, this product will be financially sustainable, and we began our rollout strategy in February 2020 with a target to sell 100 kits to 10% of elementary schools within our region by June 2020, generating over $1,500 in profit. Within our first month of sales, we have supplied 15 kits, impacting over 300 students while generating over $200 in profit. The paper planter utilizes waste material as its main input, and it's powered by Enactus Fleming student volunteers. This allows us to enjoy healthy profit margins while still providing excellent value to our customers. We are reducing Fleming's financial cost and its environmental footprint in our local landfill. What has started as a recycling project has transformed into a sustainable business and an educational tool that has the world talking. Paper Planter was recognized by the World Trade Foundation Association as a rising innovation project and received the People's Choice Award at Enactus World Cup Project Fair in 2019. Paper Planter was featured in local and national media after receiving a 3M Project Accelerator grant and winning over $7,000 in cash and prizes. Paper Planter has sold 15 kits, diverting over 110 pounds of paper from the landfill, impacting over 300 children in our community while generating over $200 in profit. We're projecting to sell 500 kits by March next year, diverting 1,600 pounds of paper from the landfill, impacting over 12,000 children and generating almost $10,000 in revenue. We're Enactus Fleming College, we are educating the leaders of tomorrow, and we are leading by example. Same old paper, brand new life.
Over the next 75 years, we'll have graduated and found a nice job. We'll hopefully have met someone special, built a family, had grandkids, and grown old. In all that time, an entire lifespan, this plastic water bottle will likely still look like this.
This is because plastic can take up to 500 years to decompose, but even then, it only breaks down further into microplastics that remain in our environment.
It has been estimated that the ongoing creation and incineration of plastic will produce more than 2.75 billion metric tons of greenhouse gases by 2050, and this will also inevitably cause an increasing overflow of plastics into our oceans.
Picture your bathtub overflowing. You would of course turn off the tap and then clean up the existing mess. That's exactly what we at Enactus Laurier have done by taking a holistic approach to the plastic waste crisis, by stopping the need for new plastics to be created, and by upcycling the waste that already exists.
Each year in North America, 5.7 billion small plastic amenity bottles enter landfills. Any plastic that is smaller than 7 centimeters in size automatically gets filtered out during the recycling process.
To address this problem, we launched Earth Suds. Earth Suds are solid shampoo, conditioner, and body wash tablets that, when crushed and combined with water, lathers and suds like traditional liquid products. We started with dried soap in the form of strips and underwent more than 150 iterations to create the product you see today.
Unlike liquid products that are packaged in plastic containers, our solid tablets are packaged in reusable containers or materials that can be recycled. We believe in sustainability without compromising quality, which is why we use naturally derived ingredients and make our products vegan as well as paraben, sulfate, and cruelty-free.
We started by selling to hotels to replace the small amenity bottles they provide to guests. The overwhelmingly positive feedback we received from these guests opened up a new avenue to sell to consumers directly through our e-commerce site and retail partners. Earth Suds is currently stocked in over 55 retailers across North America, which has contributed to our over $31,000 in revenue in the last 5 months. This represents over 64,000 tablets sold, and because we produce our tablets without water or plastic, we've prevented the creation of over 1,900 pounds of CO2, saved over 13,000 liters of water, and eliminated the need for 13,000 plastic amenity bottles.
Our impact is being recognized as we were the only student and only Canadian team out of 300 applicants worldwide to be honored as one of the top 10 ways to eliminate plastic waste by National Geographic. And just recently, Earth Suds was featured on breakfast television. We've also secured over $86,000 in funding through our recent back-to-back wins at the Queen's Entrepreneurship Competition and the Ivy Business Plan Competition.
We're proud of our external impact, but we are even more proud of what we are doing internally by creating 8 green jobs for adults with developmental disabilities like Gordon Stella. These individuals are gaining paid work experience through our work readiness program that helps them build the skills they need in a supportive environment to transition into more permanent work. But stopping the creation of new plastic only turns off the tap. There are still 150 million tons of plastic waste already in our environment. To combat this part of the plastic crisis, we launched Last 20. With Last 20, we aim to take plastic waste out of the environment and create new pathways and roadways that actually help slow down the rate of climate change.
Conventional asphalt requires the extraction of bitumen, which is a byproduct of oil production and is also a major contributor to climate change. We're supplementing a portion of bitumen with plastic resin using low-density polyethylene typically found in plastic bags that can't actually be recycled. Essentially, we're upcycling plastic waste into pavement.
In addition to reducing the amount of oil extracted and helping to repurpose the existing plastic waste in landfills, pavement infused with plastic is actually 20% stronger than traditional pavement and is also 2 to 7 times less expensive since the plastic waste is readily available as opposed to extracting bitumen.
To realize this goal, we have generated $20,000 in grants, and this upcoming summer, we'll be piloting our solution in partnership with a private developer and the City of Waterloo. These projects will be upcycling over 2 tons of plastic, or approximately 5 million plastic bags. Roads are what connect billions of people together every single day, and Last 20 is truly paving the way to a brighter future.
And this future is closer than we think, which is why at Enactus Laurier, we've created 2 social ventures, Earth Suds and Last 20, to turn off the tap and tackle the plastic waste crisis. We've created green jobs, diverted plastic waste from landfills, and plan to upcycle existing waste.
Odds are that in 75 years, most of us won't be around anymore. But all of our children and our grandchildren will walk the world that we built for them and will live with the consequences of our decisions.
We have the power today to turn off the tap and start reversing the damage we've caused, because there is nothing we can do to change the past, but everything we do changes the future.
I'm going to start this presentation with a very simple question. What's a typical breakfast for you? Simon, what would be your answer?
I usually have a coffee, some cereals and berries.
Did you know that without pollinators, you wouldn't be able to drink coffee or even have access to most fruits?
Whoa, are you serious? Have you ever thought about that? Hi everyone, I'm Simon.
And I'm Mary.
We are proud to represent the 70 volunteers involved in Rush Campus from the University of Sherbrooke in the province of Quebec.
Since 2014, we educate and raise awareness about the decline of pollinators, which is a worldwide concern, mostly because of the abusive use of pesticides and the wide surface monoculture.
Our solution, taking concrete actions on a daily basis to help pollinators and have a positive impact in our local community. This year, we work collectively more than 1,800 hours on our project.
We have 4 beehives, sheltering about 1 million bees. They can pollinate up to 20 billion flowers every year, reducing the carbon footprint of the university.
Our beekeeping training provides the necessary tools to help the pollinators on a local scale. Only this year, 60 people were empowered by our teaching and are now part of the change.
As we're all affected by this issue, we believe that it's also important to educate younger generation. This year, we prepared 4 interactive workshops and met 90 children and teenagers.
Moreover, we are expanding our impact by promoting Rush Campus's mission to the consumer through honey. Our honey is sold to the community, which not only promotes local and organic products, but also provides us almost $2,000 each year. This helps us renew our equipment and produce new educative content.
Apart from producing honey, bees also produce wax, which can be used in our transformation workshops. In those events, organized once every semester, a dozen of students can learn to use wax and honey to make everyday products, allowing them to consume less and save more.
For instance, Eloise, who attended the workshop a couple of years ago, is now able to make her own products from wax. She even shared her creations with her family and friends, and her bee wraps will last many years and replace completely the use of plastic wrappings.
Nowadays, one of the best ways to reach a large number of people and raise awareness is through social media.
Via these platforms, we have the opportunity to impact over 1,200 individuals and share interesting facts to incite them to take action. Now, we even have a weekly podcast where we can inform people about pollinators-related subjects and our incoming events.
Through workshops, stands, and beekeeping trainings, we have directly impacted 650 people only since May. Our actions are recognized in our institution, but also throughout Quebec. We have received many awards, and these distinctions encourage us to give the best of ourselves.
With the growing interest for our organization, we had the opportunity to set up a project to enhance the public spaces by sowing flowering plants on campus.
Our current goal is to increase the number of flowering plots to promote the growth of pollinators.
And with the time required for all these projects, we implemented a part-time job last semester. The creation of this green job has permitted us to be even more active with the students.
We still have a lot of ideas for Rush Campus to further increase our impact and help the planet.
What will we do with more fundings?
Have a permanent employee to help us focus on our mission.
Enhance biodiversity on campus with more flower plots.
Use the scientific expertise of our members to conduct pollinator research.
Maybe even create a pollinator research center at the University of Sherbrooke.
In summary, since May 2019, the 70 members of Rush Campus have worked towards raising awareness about the worldwide problem of the decline of pollinators with the community of Sherbrooke.
We created a student job to help us reach our objectives and raise about $2,000 from the sale of our honey. This money can then be reinvested into our project and helps us protect biodiversity on campus. Finally, Rush Campus also plays a significant role in helping the university reduce its carbon emission, but also the student community's plastic use.
We know that everything is possible. By believing in our goal and working together towards it, we can achieve anything.
We are Rush Campus from Enactus of University of Sherbrooke, and we invite you to join the movement.
pause, and take a deep breath. Now take another moment and think about the last meal you enjoyed. Necessities of life, the ones we take for granted. But now, these basic provisions of life are at risk. Beyond other perils such as fresh water supply and climate change, there is another, less viable threat at work, but one just as serious: the future of the bees. Without bees, we would not have fresh food to eat or air to breathe. Scientists recognize bees as the world's most important species. Vital bee statistics include: bees are responsible for enabling over 70% of global food production. Bees pollinate billions of plants annually. Bees generate millions of dollars for our economy. Our global ecosystem is in jeopardy due to the lack of wildflowers that exist for bees to pollinate. Pesticides and artificial fertilizers suffocate our land and prevent bees from obtaining nourishment. Sadly, we have treated bees like viruses, seeing them as obstacles in our way of life. In reality, we need them for our own survival. And right now, the bees need our help. My name is Tyler Simpson. We are Enactus Durham College, and this is Project 3 Hive. At Enactus Durham College, Project 3 Hive was conceived to achieve the following goals: combating bee extinction rates through awareness and customer empowerment, educating people young and old about the importance of bees, and promotion of the bee as an important species for Earth. First, 3 Hive at its core is a sustainable apparel brand. Through the promotion sales of our apparel, we attract customer attention through our message and positive brand association. Following our initial launch in summer 2019, 3 Hive quickly built a fully functional e-commerce platform via Shopify. 6 months later, 3 Hive has earned over $4,000 in sales. But our apparel is only part of our impact strategy. Our efforts do not stop here. Through our apparel business, we empower customers to make a difference, replacing typical clothing tags with eco-friendly sea paper tags. Standard clothing tags wreak havoc on the environment and create unnecessary waste. By using plantable sea paper tags, produced in Winnipeg by our partner Botanical Paperworks, 3 Hive empowers our customers to take action and help bees in their own front yards. Our biodegradable paper tags are embedded with wildflower seeds. When you purchase a 3 Hive product, you reduce waste and produce a new food source for the bees. The next foundational pillar of 3 Hive is education. We work to educate our customers about the seriousness of the bee crisis. In summer of 2019, our team launched an Instagram education campaign in parallel to our apparel marketing campaign. We shared sobering facts about bee habitat loss and the importance of bees in our ecosystems. In only a few weeks, we garnered 50,000 impressions and a dedicated following of 1,500. In addition, 3 Hive has partnered with the Durham District Catholic School Board and their local elementary schools to pilot an in-person education program for children. This collaboration includes a dynamic presentation and series of activities that helps to augment the school's STEM curriculum. Our sessions include fun and engaging activities related to the life of bees, like planting wildflowers. We have also partnered with a Durham College student who has created an original illustrated 3 Hive book. Our book uses simple language to describe a bee's purpose through a medium that has lasting impacts on a growing mind. The goal of our education program, both in schools and in print, is to motivate children to be responsible consumers and environmental citizens, and to gain an affinity for bees. So, what's next for 3 Hive? Beyond scaling our impacts through education and branding, our next contribution will be to the fashion industry. Research shows this industry is the second biggest contributor to climate change. So 3 Hive's next product is a 100% eco-friendly hoodie made of organic cotton, which is widely recognized for reducing environmental impact, a key goal for our project. 3 Hive seeks to combat habitat loss and educate about the importance of bees. This year, we made tangible impacts to reducing the extinction rate of bees and empowering our followers to take action in their communities. Through branded apparel, awareness, and education, in just 1 year, 3 Hive achieved the following: the launch of an online eco-friendly apparel brand that enables the planting of sea paper tags, 4,000 in clothing sales, representing over 120 distinct customers, a partnership with the Durham District Catholic School Board, which educated a class of 12 students on the importance of bees, and an awareness campaign that resulted in 50,000 online impressions. Now take another deep breath, and as you do, be sure to thank the bees. We are Enactus Durham College, and this is Project 3 Hive.
The plastic water bottle, so small and convenient.
Used once and thrown away.
But do we ever consider the impact of this one simple action?
It's just one water bottle. It doesn't make a difference, right?
Wrong.
Each year, Canada produces 2 billion plastic water bottles, of which 1 billion are dumped into Ontario landfills.
Along with these single-use plastics, our province sends an additional 6.7 million tons of waste to landfill sites each year.
With Ontario having the lowest recycling rate in the country, our city is suffering from one of the highest air pollution rates in Canada. This is contributing to the carbon emissions that are suffocating our Earth.
Now think back to that one water bottle. What would happen if we could get one student to reuse it?
What if we could inspire hundreds of students to see waste as the beginning of an opportunity?
What if we could shift the perspective of an entire generation?
Introducing UThrive, a 10-week mentorship program that allows grade school and high school students to create and manage their very own micro-business.
Our project is aligned with the Ontario curriculum and is designed to inspire students' creativity in seeing waste as a feasible business idea.
Throughout the program, students are taught the basic fundamentals of entrepreneurship, along with eco-friendly practices to utilize within their business.
Meet Crafty Corks, a group of students who created keychains out of wine corks.
At this age, people don't really think about how much plastic is actually affecting the earth. UThrive really helps people learn about what's actually happening behind throwing plastic bottles away and what you can actually do with that.
Through our loan system, sponsored by WFCU Credit Union, Crafty Corks were able to receive a loan of up to $150 to start their business.
Each group is taxed 13% on all profit generated, but because Crafty Corks incorporated 3 of the 4 R's, they were able to receive a 7% tax break. This incentivizes students to go green, shifting their mindsets towards a more sustainable future.
We invite all students to attend our UThrive Market, held at the University of Windsor. This opportunity allows them to showcase and sell their products to over 500 faculty and students.
With the exposure students receive at the market, they are proving that sustainable businesses are the future of entrepreneurship. They're helping tackle a global issue by not only implementing the 4 R's in their businesses, but also in their everyday lives.
The UThrive program in itself teaches leadership and confidence, and when you combine those skills with knowledge of green practices, I think you're creating the leaders of our future. And because they have the leadership and the confidence, they can share their environmental message.
At the end of the program, we invite top businesses from each class to present at our final competition, YouthX. This is a Dragon's Den style event where we invite a panel of local professionals to judge businesses based off of innovation and environmental sustainability. Students pitch their business to the panel with top groups receiving a cash prize.
We also reward one student with the Green Award. This award recognizes a student who encourages change and acts as an inspiration to others through their green business.
But it doesn't stop there. With the tremendous impact we've seen locally, we decided to take action and go beyond our reach. Windsor is not the only city struggling, and we believe we can make a greater impact.
UThrive Plus does just that.
With our first launch this year, students can now access our LMS system in classrooms outside of Windsor and Essex County.
Our website allows both students and teachers to create a profile where they're able to access slideshows organized into weekly modules. From there, students are able to learn at their own pace and track their progress.
We applied the train-the-trainer model, where teachers have access to mentor training through our website so that they may have the resources to become a UThrive mentor.
By teachers becoming this mentor for their students, they are shifting more mindsets towards a green future, impacting more communities than just our own.
This year, through UThrive,
socially, over 650 students graduated the program with transferable life skills, creating a community of young entrepreneurs.
Economically, we've invested over $3,500 in our students, created 178 businesses, and generated over $70,000 in revenue.
Environmentally, 100% of businesses incorporated eco-friendly practices. We repurposed and diverted over 2,400 pounds of waste, and we helped shift the mindset of our youth towards a more sustainable future.
Here at Enactus Windsor, we are shifting the perspective of an entire generation.
Where one sees a plastic water bottle, we see an opportunity.
We are inspiring students to seek change and take action.
Because they are the creators of tomorrow.
How much attention do we really pay to our consumption habits? Not only that, but how much attention do we pay to the waste that our favorite products create? Waste management is such a trendy topic today, and it is incredible to witness what an interconnected society can accomplish. Sustainable lifestyles are finally in fashion, but the unfortunate reality is that most people only scratch the surface of sustainable living. Most of us would never bother to do a full supply chain analysis in our consumption, but being students of Canada's Food University, it's ingrained in us to dig a little deeper. That's why we found it fitting that a group of invested students such as ourselves delved into one of the most popular products in our community, beer, and namely its production byproduct, spent grain. Did you know that it takes 175 kilograms of spent grain byproduct to produce 1,000 liters of beer? With 2.2 billion liters of beer being produced in Canada a year, that is close to 385 million kilograms of byproduct, the majority of which ending up in landfills. So, how can we rethink the value chain for this high protein, high fiber, and readily available waste product? Last year, we brought you a project that made use of spent grain by drying it, grinding it, and mixing it with regular flour to create a higher protein and fiber-dense alternative to regular bread flour. This initiative was an excellent starting point for turning an otherwise wasted item into something that can be utilized within the community. But, as the innovative minds of Enactus Guelph, we knew that we could push the project even further. While creating the flour used a small portion of Brother Brewing's byproduct, it barely made a dent in the 300 kilograms being sent to the landfill a week. Based on the scale of our production, we recognized that there was much more opportunity for additional usage of this nutrient-dense food. Welcome to Flourish. What started as the creation of a spent grain flour turned into a platform for making high-protein and fiber-dense scones, cookies, and granola out of the same byproduct in order to divert even more waste than before. What we started doing this year was taking the spent grain from Brothers Brewing and baking nutrient-dense goods with it ourselves to then be sold at the brewery as a menu item. By doing this, we encourage the concept of the circular economy and introduce new waste management techniques to the brewery. The scones and cookies that we create have the potential to divert 15,600 kilograms of spent grain out of landfills. Not to mention, they are on average 9% higher in fiber and have a significantly greater amount of protein than a regular snack. So, not only are these products good for our environment, they're good for the consumer too. Part of our success is maintaining simplicity throughout the entire process. We pick up the spent grain from Brothers Brewing downtown Guelph and immediately bring it to a certified kitchen where we get to baking. From there, we bring the products back to the brewery where they are then sold as a menu item and advertised as utilizing the spent grain. Ultimately, creating these products was a pilot stage for us in exploring what else was possible. We have been working with spent grain here at Enactus Guelph for 3 years now. In that time, we have built lasting relationships, done extensive research on the product, and have learned so much from our incredible resources at the university. Now just imagine what brewers could do if we equipped them with this knowledge. Our mission spans far beyond the scope of product creation. We have been working on developing a framework for waste management consultation with local breweries. Stakeholders are taking more and more interest in corporate social responsibility, and a huge part of that is a business's impact on the environment. We believe that a consultation business will allow us to harness Enactus's entrepreneurial spirit and allow breweries to become more sustainable and responsible on their own. Combined, we could reintegrate upwards of 100,000 kilograms of spent grain into the food cycle in Guelph alone. This is a drastic increase from our current level of production, where the opportunity for spent grain diversion is a yearly 15,600 kilograms. The best part of this project is that waste diversion is only the foam on top, so to speak. When we take into consideration the $100 per ton waste disposal fees that breweries would save, the added nutrients being reintegrated into our diets, and the lasting framework designed to help future breweries be more sustainable, we like to think that this project focuses on the betterment of multiple facets of the industry. This year, Enactus Guelph made a commitment to focus on our strengths and our passions, food waste and sustainability. We don't just embrace these topics because they're on trend or in style, we embody them. We know that there is no limit to what we can accomplish for our environment and the generations to come. And starting with Project Flourish, we want to revolutionize the way that we think about food waste. Join us on our journey to rediscover the power of the circular economy and the impact that we can make. Thank you.
A perfect life. Doesn't that statement seem funny to you?
When I grow up, I want to be a famous roller skater. I want to be a police officer, a policeman, corporate lawyer. I want to be ninja. What do you want to be?
What did you want to be growing up? Is what you wanted to be then what you're doing now?
We all have different ideas of what a perfect life is to us. But we share an understanding that it doesn't always go to plan.
But that doesn't mean we just give up.
So why don't we do the same with our food?
Food is meant to be eaten. But last year, we gave up on 58% of the food that was grown in Canada.
All of the resources used to grow and transport that food is instead wasted.
The water,
the greenhouse gases,
and the money.
All for it to end up in landfills.
We've adopted a culture of wasting, treating the green bin like an excuse for ugly produce. Out of sight, out of mind.
Yet, why are 1 in 5 Canadian kids at risk of going to school hungry?
Lack of food shouldn't be a roadblock that prevents kids from reaching their potential.
Especially if there is so much being wasted.
This is food insecurity.
To bridge that gap, we created Project Secure, an affordable meal service program that creates healthy meals out of food that would have otherwise gone to waste.
This time last year, we partnered with Scotiabank Community Centre and Bondi Produce to launch our very first pilot program.
We used the produce given to us by Bondi to provide youth with healthy meals.
The recipes for these meals were both designed and prepared by Ryerson Food and Nutrition students.
And followed the Canadian Food Guide to ensure that we optimize both the nutritional value and environmental impact of the meals.
The process of creating 1 pound of fresh produce uses on average 244 liters of water and 0.63 pounds of CO2 emissions.
Through the 1,700 meals that we've served at Scotiabank, we've been able to keep 200,000 liters of water and 536 pounds of emissions from going to waste.
But we wanted to think on a larger scale. We realized nutrition is a vital aspect of a youth's development.
As a team, we not only want to prevent food waste, but also want to help kids build the foundation needed to become who they want to be when they grow up.
Having proved our business model through our pilot program, we secured a partnership with the Toronto District School Board, the largest school board in Canada, to do just that.
We will be expanding to Jeanlo Public School in May to start a nutrition program for all 280 kids, which will provide 2 meals each week.
In order to account for a larger group of kids, the meals will be made from food donated through our newest partnership with Second Harvest, Canada's largest food rescue charity.
Second Harvest collects surplus produce from grocery stores like Loblaws and Metro and distributes what they collect to over 300 social service agencies.
It's really important to Second Harvest that we're able to capture that food, keep as much of it as possible out of landfill, and work with partners such as Project Secure to ensure that this good food is used for its highest intended purpose, which is to feed people.
Project Secure is feeding the future by turning food waste into food security for youth in Toronto.
The money we've raised through our partnerships will allow us to run the program fully funded for the rest of the school year. This means that all meals will be served at no cost.
However, we realize that having a free meal program may bring food security, but it's not a sustainable business model.
So, in September of 2020, we will be moving to a sliding scale payment plan where the parents are able to pay what they can for the program.
As a result of COVID-19, we realized that launching our nutrition program in May is not feasible, which is why we're working with TDSB to launch this program at a safer time for the kids. The expansion program will provide over 3,000 meals to over 200 kids.
As a result, we will be diverting over 1,600 pounds of waste, reducing over 1,000 pounds of CO2 emissions,
and preventing over 400,000 liters of water from being wasted in only 6 weeks.
Project Secure proves that having food security, sustainability, and affordability as our triple bottom line is something that can be accomplished.
Project Secure has and will continue to prove that there's no such thing as useless produce.
Over the last year, we have directly impacted 250 people and indirectly impacted 720.
But with our TDSB partnership, we will be feeding the future generation of police officers,
lawyers,
and even ninjas.
Food is meant to be eaten.
A farmer plants a seed and nurtures it to grow into food, but somewhere along the line, someone gave up on that seed.
Project Secure is not giving up on the future of food security, and it starts with our youth.
Did you end up being what you want to be?
Well, I didn't end up being an engineer.
I didn't end up being a doctor. But we did not go to waste.
And neither should our food.
In 1 year, enough plastic water bottles are produced to wrap around our planet 4 times. In a single day, the world generates 3.5 million tons of recyclable waste. How often do we think about recycling? Do we go out of our way to make sure our recycling is done right? Or is this another problem for another day? In the grand scheme of things, this may seem like a distant problem, but let's bring this picture closer to home. Our Windsor landfills will be full within the next 14 years. Our city's future could be buried in garbage if we continue to bide our time. The issue is, we're notoriously bad at keeping track of what can be recycled and what can't, and our current waste management practices fail to confront cross-contamination. Cross-contamination is the amount of improperly sorted waste deposited in a sorting bin. If the amount of incorrect material in a bin is over 10%, everything, including the properly sorted material, is sent to a landfill, meaning our efforts to recycle have literally been going to waste. But we, at Enactus St. Clair, are redefining the current recycling process. Our mission is to inspire the reduction of global waste by reinventing recycling through a waste assessment system. Introducing REVERT, a system designed to provide education and data analysis, reduce cross-contamination, and improve recycling efficiency within businesses and communities alike. In order to understand this further, we reached out to local waste managers and found that sorting and removing waste is costly, requiring additional labor and training to compensate for the amount of cross-contamination. Management also felt restricted by their ability to respond due to the amount of time it takes to audit and collect data. We recognized this firsthand as we conducted our own waste audits within our campus. We knew there had to be a better way. By collaborating with our school's mobile app development, engineering, and data analytics programs, we created the REVERT sensor system. Our sensors monitor the weight, height, and traffic of the bin contents. This condenses and sends the data directly to our clients in real time, removing all errors surrounding manual entry. Our system also utilizes a machine learning algorithm, which is capable of offering predictive data. This is crucial because we can predict the presence of cross-contamination without ever manually opening a bin. This is what our developing business model looks like. Our team visits a client and evaluates their bins to ensure that our program works with their existing network. We then provide businesses a package. This includes our sensors, our application complete with automatic notifications, and monthly maintenance. Clients then pay a one-time installation fee of $300, alongside a monthly subscription of $30 for software and labor. By accessing data, each of these businesses is projected to save 10 hours of labor per week. REVERT improves efficiency and accessibility when it comes to bin placement and labor. We are currently in the process of developing a mobile dashboard where management teams will be able to directly pull data reports to make decisions. The potential for expansion is endless. This year, we partnered with 4 different businesses to explore the possibilities of REVERT. We started by integrating our own 5-tier bin system into the residence building at St. Clair College. This separates trash, paper, aluminum, plastic, and organic waste. Students are able to use our sorting station and engage directly in the proper disposal of their trash. At the same time, our bins help to pursue further savings in waste removal. We were also able to partner with Chrysler at our local manufacturing facility and participate in conducting their annual waste audit. With feedback from their maintenance teams, we further refined our system and applied this to our next pilot at Devonshire Mall, leaders in the pursuit of zero waste for institutions nationally. Through our shared goals for sustainability, they've installed our sensor systems into their sorting stations at the food court. By combining our data with the media screens in the mall, diners are able to directly interact with the impact generated from their waste. This encourages them to see the effect of their daily actions. We followed the food waste journey full circle and partnered with a local compost company, Greener Bins. In just one compost pile, we helped in diverting close to 9,000 pounds of organic waste. This year, Enactus St. Clair took steps towards building a greener campus and community. We introduced 4 partners to sustainable business practices, founded a sustainability committee, and began developing an accredited sustainability elective, directly impacted 2,000 students through interactive educational activities, diverted over 10,000 pounds of waste from landfills, and $130,000 of projected profit. This is the difference 1 year makes when a community decides to be part of the solution. Reduce, reuse, recycle, REVERT.